Go to it now to try to get a quality possession, force Utah to make a decision about whether they're going to double team. That's exactly what they're going to go to right now.
Anthony's first points of the second half. He's got 16 for the game.
That's a smart move by Chauncey Billups and Adrian Dantley to go back to that, settle them down a little bit, make sure you get the quality possession. And now Jerry Sloan's going to have to figure out what he's going to do the next possession if they go back to it.
They double Williams, make him give it up. Look at Fasenko taking it to the basket. Don't know if that's what he had in mind, but it's still 2 points. And Fasenko 4 of 4 from the field, 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Starting for Mehmet Okur is out for the playoffs with an Achilles problem. Anthony to the basket, gets it again.
Exact same play. Get the ball to Carmelo. Single coverage, he's out the basket.
Easy two on the other end. Williams to Miles.
Well, Denver relaxed after that last bucket by Carmelo. They did not get back in transition, seeing the basketball in intent or ready to play defense, and C.J. Miles just took advantage of it. All he did was run the floor.
Anthony turnover. Numbers for Utah. Williams finds Miles to Boozer. Utah was 32-9 at home during the regular season, and here in Game 3 against Denver, the Jazz with a 10-point lead. Look now at our Who's Primed to Perform, brought to you by Gatorade. Award winners from the regular season: Dwight Howard, Defensive Player of the Year; Coach of the Year to Scott Brooks; Most Improved, Aaron Brooks. Any surprises, Lex, in your opinion?
Well, Aaron Brooks, to me, is a guy that's already arrived. I think he's already an established upper-tier player in this league. So that surprised me a little bit. Last year, I thought was his coming out party. I thought it maybe a guy like Andrew Bogut or maybe a guy like Joakim Noah. Either one of those guys that went from being really just a kind of a role player to having a much more prominent role on playoff teams. I thought maybe those are two guys deserving of that. That's not a knock on Aaron Brooks. I just think he's already arrived. And I think that's what the most improved player a lot of times goes to, a guy that really wasn't on the scene last year. Now is a prominent player in the league.
How about Scott Brooks? Goes from 23 wins to 50. Yes, he's got Kevin Durant, Westbrook, Jeff Green, but still, what an improvement.
Could not happen to a nicer, more humble guy in the world than Scotty Brooks. All the best. Congratulations to him. And he's got the Lakers in a tussle with his Oklahoma City team. They're really a great defensive team, and they've got star power with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook.
All night on ESPN, Anthony Norm, and they can't tip it in. Rebound Boozer. Denver's got to be careful. Down 10 midway through the third on the road as Williams is fouled. That's 4 on Aflalo.
Chauncey Billups a little upset with that. He wasn't involved in the foul, but he's saying, look, I'm getting the exact same type of contact at the other end. I've been driving, getting that shoulder-to-shoulder contact, and he's shooting the fadeaway when he's trying to finish because he's expecting to whistle. Darren Williams has gotten the benefit of those two calls. I like the way that he continues to attack, and you're right. Right now is a critical time. There's 5.5 minutes left in this quarter. Denver's got to be very careful that this does not get away from them right here as they go into the fourth.
You know, Denver, people have criticized them in the past for their defense, but last year they were 4th in the NBA in field goal defense. Now they dropped this year to 14th. And obviously they've struggled defensively against Williams and Boozer in the series, but a lot of teams have struggled against Utah's offense. Williams missing 2 there. But last touch by Billups.
Yeah, you love to see guys compete for rebounds on free throws. Too often they're just conceded to the defense. That time Carlos Boozer got in there and fought just to see what he can make happen and deflects it off a Denver Nugget. Now you get extra possession.
Miles able to bank it in, and the lead is 12, the largest of the game for the Jazz. Lawson back on the floor, so Billups moves to the off-guard spot. This lineup had some success in the first half. Shot clock at 5. There's Billups way off from 3.
That's time, at the start of the possession, Carmelo Anthony shook his head because he didn't understand why they weren't coming back to him. He was lined up on the right block where he likes the basketball. Instead, they went away from him. He ends up as a decoy in the corner, and he looked kind of frustrated. He wants the basketball right now because he knows they've got to stop this run and get this under control, and he's the best guy to do it right now.
Third team foul on Carmelo Anthony. Fourth on the Nuggets here in the quarter. Well, how does Denver stop the bleeding? Because the crowd's into it now. And the unit that gave Utah the most success offensively in the first half is out there right now.
The only way you can do it is by stringing together stops. You know, whatever happens offensively, it's one thing. They got enough firepower to get back in the game. You've got to start getting some stops. Utah's getting anything they want over the last 4 or 5 minutes. Everything pretty much been at the rim or an open jump shot. You've got to have better rotation, more energy, get some deflections, and figure out a way to string together 3 or 4 stops so you can come down and cut into this lead.
Here's Williams off the inbound pass. It's a 14-point Utah lead.
The one thing Darren Williams has going for him when Ty Lawson is playing him, it's a comfort zone knowing that when he goes up for his jump shot, Ty Lawson cannot get up there and contest it. And that's exactly how Darren Williams shot that jumper. He just knew that was going to be relatively uncontested.
Anthony calling for it. Again, a possession without a touch, but Nene fouled on his way through the lane.
This is a quick hitter off the out of bounds. You see Darren Williams sets the pick. It's a screen to screener. You know, Ty Lawson's in the picture, but that's not going to bother a guy. That's not really a contested shot, even though he got a hand up. Not going to affect him when he knows he's got a size advantage when he goes up to release that ball.
Williams with 8 in the quarter. Here's Anthony. And Carmelo Anthony now with 20 points.
It's basic basketball for Denver right now. Just get the ball to Carmelo, let him create something. The double teams come, find shooters. But right now, he's got a little flow going to his game with the one-on-one stuff.
Boozer with the spin. Millsap kept it alive, and Anthony gets to it. And Phillips taking it in on Korver, draws a foul. 14 foul on Utah. First on Korver. Phillips to the line. NBA playoffs continue tomorrow on ESPN. First at 7 Eastern. It's the Hawks and Bucks with Atlanta leading 2-0 over Milwaukee. Then at 9:30, it's Game 4 between the Lakers and Thunder in Oklahoma City. Even the series with LA tomorrow night. And can the Bucks, minus Andrew Bogut, get a win against Atlanta? Scott Skiles certainly a candidate for Coach of the Year, although the other Scott Brooks won the award, but Skiles did a great job in Milwaukee this year.
He has done a great job. I mean, rookie point guard. He's improved that team dramatically defensively. They made some mid-season moves, bringing in John Salmons, bringing in Jerry Stackhouse. No Andrew Bogut. They're still in the playoffs, but without him, they just don't have enough size up front to contend with all the athleticism that Atlanta brings to the table.
Both free throws are good by Phillips. He's got 17 points, and it's back to a 10-point deficit for Denver. Williams with a hot hand for the Jazz here in the quarter. Finds Matthews. Buries a three. Third three of the game for Wes Matthews. He made just one in games 1 and 2 combined. Anthony finds Nene along the baseline. Can't kiss it home with the left hand. Williams fouled by Lawson in the backcourt. Nuggets are in the penalty.
Well, much like Denver needed to get to their bread and butter, Utah goes to their bread and butter. Pick and roll on the side. Boozer and Williams forced Denver to trap and rotate. Invariably, there's going to be a miscommunication, and it's exactly what happened. And Wes Matthews caught that ball and slowed down his release, took his time. It's exactly the way he was warming up before the game. Take your time. Make sure when you're struggling with your jump shot a little bit, take a little extra half count if you've got enough space, and he did, and that time knocked it down. Very under control.
He told us before the game how nervous he was. Game 1 and even in Game 2. More comfortable back here at home. He's had a good game, as has Darren Williams, especially here in the second half.
Well, he said he talked to his mom after those first 2 games, and mom said, listen, don't worry about shooting. Go do some other stuff to help your team win. Eventually, the shot's going to fall. So I think that's pretty good advice.
His mom, Pam Moore, was a very good basketball player in Wisconsin, as was his dad, Wes Sr. Also played in the NBA. Phillips fouled on the way to the basket again. And here's Wes Sr. Won a couple titles pretty much as a backup with the Lakers. Also spent some time with San Antonio.
Solid pro. Solid pro. Very good defensive player.
Foul goes on Matthews. That's his third. Phillips misses a free throw. 91% free throw shooter. There's